morning and welcome back to Home Renovation Expert Steve, back here again in his lovely garden room. You like where I stay there every time, didn't you? So this morning I've already put on that little trim there just to cover the joint. That took me like a whole 2 minutes. And my plan for the day now will be get the framing. Hello Maxie. He's my apprentice, he's doing a good job. I'm going to get this hardwood frame which I'm going to put on just here on the exterior. So I'm going to get that fit down. It needs to be bespoke cut and fit because obviously the height of this means it needs to be adjusted. So I'll zip that down, get it built, get it fit, get it in, and then I think it'll be a start. You can't take a picture, I'm doing a video. Honestly, you can't get your apprentices these days. I just can't get it started. Thank you. My spark is on site now as well, Howard, who's hiding around the corner. I don't know why. There you go. See that? Do you see that floating head? And so that's it basically for the day. Once I got that in, I'll then start the Western Red Cedar as well. And happy day, so I'll get off and get cracking. Right, so like I say, got this kit which come from, not Wigs, there's another shop, but basically the same price as a hardwood frame. So I've trimmed the height, I've trimmed the length, so it's going to go in. I've allowed for about sort of 5mm either side for tolerances at the top and the bottom. So that means when I get it in there, I can just level it off as needed to, pack it out if I need to, all that kind of stuff. So all I'm going to do is, two ways you could do this. One, I've got a nail gun, so I'm just going to fire some nails in the top, right through there, obviously straight into that one, which is beautiful, nice and easy. If you don't have a nail gun, just screw it, job done. So I'm going to get that done, I'll get it up into place and then start leveling it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to work out I think I'm going to bring the front of this level with the batten. So essentially my Western Red Cedar will actually come over and sit on here, or it might not. There might be another way I might do it. So I'm gonna have a little, get this built, I'll have a little tinker and see where I end up. Right, frame is now in. So what I've done is, yes, I could have brought this front of this level and flush with here, and in the Western Red Cedar would literally run straight across here and then kind of come to just in front. The obviously issue with that is that the further forward I bring this frame this way, the less I've got to zip into at the back. So when I kind of done the calculations on it, if I brought it away to the front, I'd basically have that much of a stud touch to zip into, which meant going at an angle. And then the issue was, well, that's not very good fixing because don't forget this is a fire door going on here because they're going to be covering Western Red Cedar. So already it's heavy enough without Western Red Cedar being attached to it. So what we've done is we brought it level with the original building, which means I get an absolutely perfect fixing. So that is now never going anywhere. So when the Western Red Cedar sits on here, like about that thickness of my finger, I'll just bring it out and over a little bit, and I'll do a tiny return of my finger back that way. And I'm also going to cover the face of this with Western Red Cedar as well, so you won't see the oak except for where obviously you've got the threshold at the bottom. So the whole thing will be covered in Western Red Cedar. So we'll basically come across, recess in a little bit, and then come back across a little bit. So the door will be set back slightly, but that's the reality of it. At the end of the day, you can't have a door where you're going to be opening it and it's going to swing out and knock you on a nosh, which you do not want. So nice and secure fixing. So now that that is in, I should do some calculations on the Western Red Cedar. So what I need to do is make sure where the aperture here is, I need to work out to make sure that I don't end up with silly stupid little cuts above the door. All right, because that always looks shit and it's just a pain in the arse for you to try and do. So I'll get some of the cedar out, figure out the smallest amount of lengths that we've got, because actually the client ironically was able to get hold of this stuff from her husband's dad operates some sort of construction firm, and he had this kicking around at his warehouse just doing nothing. They'd used it for something, pulled it off, stored it. So I need to see what I've got, get the rough measurements of some of it because it's all cut to different lengths, figure out the smallest amounts that I can use to make this work, which then leaves me the bigger lengths to then do the front. So that'll take a minute to sort out, but hopefully, yeah, I'll get a crack on some Western Red Cedar. And the other thing as well, before I forget, so underneath the sill I've put some special foil tape which will kind of protect it, so if water ever tries to ingress there it won't damage anything. Also I've sealanted underneath it as well, so that way it's sat on a better ceiling on top of foil which runs up the wall both sides, so yeah, water can't ingress and ever get in, which is lovely jubbly. That's exactly what you want. So I'm going to crack on, work out my measurements to see where I end up. Right, so you know I said that we've got like lots of offcuts and bits and pieces from like a different build. Well, here they all are. Outside I can see it. So these are all the full lengths that we've got. Now what you can see I've done is I've kept this line all beautifully level. The reason is because I wanted to kind of see what lengths we got and everything else, because they're all slightly different lengths, as you can quite plainly see. So we've now got this to deal with, which is lovely jubbly, but then after sort of working out measurements and that kind of stuff, we technically can't go from very top down to the very bottom of the building. So you can see I've got the first one on like that. Well, you can still look at this angle, see it's like that, like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop them all in line with this batten basically, just hit. So we've got enough, they're all going to run perfectly level to there, which is beautiful. This one being a first on, does look nice, doesn't it? Has been leveled. What I've also taken into account is that I want to return for this one coming this side. I want to make sure that's going to be nice there as well, right? So we're going to get a corner trim to cover that joint, so that's fine and dandy. But I now know when that one returns on the front, it's going to butt up to that one beautifully. When it comes to fixing this stuff, it's really simple. You want stainless steel angled nails for me because I'm using my second fix nail. Give them a lovely box like this, happy days. And all I want to do is I've launched some in there which will get covered by the, where's the camera there, covered by the corner trim, and then basically it's hidden fixing time. So you basically just fire literally just between that joint there. Can you just see that hole? Perfect. And then when the next board goes over there, it'll then cover the fixing, and you carry on like that all the way through. So obviously it's held on the front between the tongue and groove joint there, and then held on the back again with a nail, rinse and repeat like that. And I think you know it's Friday because I've actually got a touch of luck. The measurement's literally going to run from that edge of the wall pretty much perfectly to here. It'll step back a bit, but again we're going to have like a corner trim which will fit on here. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do is crack on and see what I get here. You can see it's coming along nicely, beautiful. Now how am I getting exactly the same measurement every single time? When you remember, obviously this roof is kind of going downwards at an angle, so obviously now for the runoff of rain. So what I do is I take this baby one, I line him up perfectly with the bottom there, then I take a measurement from this side of it. If you can imagine my tape measure going up to this roof, from this side of it, because this is the shortest length, so I measure from there all the way down to there. I then know when I cut my next one, now from the shortest point at the top to being down there, it's going to be chef kiss beautiful, right? So that's how I'm kind of getting those done. And I will start sneezing in a minute because actually I've got this weird intolerance to Western red cedar, it turns out. Just makes you sneeze. Little tip as well, whenever you're doing tongue and groove stuff, sometimes it just won't go in with like hand pushing it. Just a bit of a pain in the arse. So grab yourself a sacrificial piece, which is my measuring one, lucky him. And all you need to do to close that gap up is give this a whack on the edge, right? Don't ever whack the one that you're working on, because if you bugger up the leading edge on this one, the next one definitely won't go on it, all right? So give it a little tap. Done. Do that all the way up, easy peasy, it'll fit a breeze, nail it in place. How's it looking? It's looking like this really. How nice is that? I do love a bit of Western red cedar. It's the ultimate finish for these things, really. Other thing to say is like every time you hit like 2/3 board you kind of do, don't forget to just re-level it, because they are boards and they're quite, well, not thin, they're 20 mil, but they do sort of go like that banana wise. So you kind of just want to continuously adjust the level as you go, because what you don't want to do is start beautifully level at front, and by the time you get to the doorway you end up like crooked like that or something, and you kind of go, you can't retro reverse, you can put them off if you want to, but that's a pain. So yeah, every second, third board, get your level on it, just adjust it as you need to, so I just don't push it as far into like the tongue and groove edges as necessary. That's why they've got such a big overlap, so you can adjust it as needed. So do that, jobs are good. So yeah, need time for knock off, but I'll just see if I can get some more boards in first, because I just love doing it. So the next question I'm going to get at some point is, well Steve, how are you cutting this stuff? Well, the simple answer is circular saw and a tri-square. So literally take my measurement, mark it off there, 213 in this case, using that off there so it's nice and straight. Then all I'll do is bring it over here, and what you'll do is bring your circular saw in, so you know you kind of line up that line there with the tri-square, like that. Can you see that? And I know that that blade's going to run through there, easy peasy. Just hold the tri-square, go through with the circular saw, easy peasy. And it saves having like a big chop saw set up and all that kind of stuff, because actually, you know, it's all lying on the floor. All I do is bring one up, measure it, cut it, as opposed to taking it, measuring it, sticking it on the big circular saw, chopping it, taking it back over there. It's just like cuts out one little middleman, and you get a perfect cut every single time, because obviously that is up against the flat edge. It ain't going nowhere. That keeps the blade nice and straight against this edge. Easy, isn't it? Right, so, and that is the end of the day for me, so there you go. That is pretty bloody lovely, isn't it? It is. It's just such a lovely finish. So yeah, I managed to get two. See, I'm going to check this out, right? Full board, boom, 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 happy days. All the way through to a full board. It never happens. So now you can see slightly better. So what we're going to do is we'll pad this frame with the same stuff, Western red cedar, about 20 mil, and then we'll do a little turn going in that direction from there to meet up to it. There'll be an L corner bit that goes across here, across the top, and that side as well. Down here I've added in a tiny bit of extra batten just there because that was the original one, and obviously I just need something else to carry this bit that'll run across the way through there. But yeah, very chuffed. So don't forget, if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the bell icon, all those bits and pieces. And I'll be back on Sunday where I'll be plasterboarding and vapor barring the inside, so join me then. Have a nice one.